with GP Lyon. Thanks for that. Raphael Levy, always good to have your company. Riley Knight here at GP. Welcome back to GP Lyon, ladies and gentlemen. In the booth, once again, the three of us assembled this time. We've got the Hall of Famer, Raph Levy. We've got the Limited Master, Toralf Severin out the back out of Berlin, and Riley Knight as well, along for the ride. It's time to head down to the feature match area for the final of GP Lyon. Let's get to it. Welcome to the finals of GP Lyon 2015. Our two competitors seated in the feature match area and ready to go. In the booth, Toralf Severin out of Berlin. We've got the Hall of Famer Raphael Levy out of Toulouse and Riley Knight from Melbourne, Australia here as well. Christian Seibold and Damien Bouillot in the feature match area. Raphael Levy, it's been a long road, but it all comes down to this.
And Christian's on the play. He was second seeded after the round.
At the end of the Swiss, finishing second, I think Seibold it was.
Yes.
Now, Toralf, you got a chance to have a look at some of these decks in the semi-finals. What are your thoughts going into this match?
I actually think that the best decks made it to the finals. And I would say that the blue-black deck here from Damien is actually favored.
So Bouillot's deck here already getting off to a strong start. We've got a Tide Drifter followed up by a Dominator Drone. That card proving crucial in the last game.
Yeah, that was the last points of damage. What a show.
And Seibold here looks to be on blue-white instead, Raph.
So not a great start from Christian. The first play is on turn 4, and it's a incubator drone not matching too well Damien's army.
Yeah, the Dominator Drone buffed up to a 3/3 now thanks to the Tide Drifter here. So Dominator Drone, Infiltrator Drone, just a 2/3, and here's Transgress the Mind.
It's incubator.
Incubator Drone on the left-hand side, and Dominator Drone on the right.
Yep.
Just to see what's going on here, there's a Wind Rider patrol.
Yes, indeed. Wind Rider Patrol, a couple of lands. That looks like a
Ghostly Sentinel.
Ghostly Sentinel there as well. So a couple of options here for 5-drop flyers for Bouillot to take, but I think it's going to be the patrol here for sure.
Yeah, if you have the choice between a 4/3 flyer that scries for 2 and a 3/3 flyer, that should be pretty clear.
Yeah. So away goes the Wind Rider Patrol. And Seibold takes back his hand. And you're going to see Christian Seibold, a trademark of the way that this German plays. He's very cautious, very carefully, plays slowly and with great precision. And obviously that served him well getting all the way to the finals here. He did pick up a draw, I believe, during the Swiss.
He did not.
There was at least one player who did, but must have been someone else.
That was Jamie.
Oh, okay, sure. Here's the
Jamie Bertou.
Here's the Ghostly Sentinel that we saw, with Bouillot not having a play for his 4-mana.
There's a very big difference between playing slow and just playing deliberate, because he plays fast if he knows what's the best play, but he also thinks a lot about those.
Okay, and here comes 4 mana for a Merc Strider. That's going to make Seibold pick up his 5-drop, freshly cast. And we move on to his 6th turn. 5 mana once again. You see the way that the way that mana is tapped very slowly and deliberately, and it's Ghostly Sentinel once again.
You can see how he takes control of the red zone. This is not
Yeah.
where you're supposed to put your cards.
Aggressive permanent placement once again from Seibold. He's on that Paddy Robertson tip here. But we're happy enough to sit behind his creatures here. As 3/3s thanks to the Tide Drifter, he does control the board, and here they come into the red zone. Looks like we might see a double block on the Dominator Drone here.
I'm surprised he hasn't attacked before. Hasn't attacked the turn before.
Well, getting in for 3 in any case. The Dominator Drone,
Yeah, he should be dead.
it's going to die thanks to the Incubator and the Scion doing it together here, blocking together. 3 mana now for Bouillot. So Malakila Familiar now, the 2-1 Death Touch entering the battlefield. That's going to rule the skies as far as the Death Touch will let it do, because the Ghostly Sentinel is going to trade with it at the very least.
And that's actually a pretty good attack now, because the Malaka Familia probably needs to be going away, and so if it attacks or blocks, it's the same result.
So maybe a Curry Griffin coming up next on
Yeah.
Christian's side. He needs to be careful not to trade his creatures like against some random guys from Damien's side, because the Blighted Fen
Blighted Fen
can
really
take care of the flyer.
Yeah, it proves a constant threat here to get rid of any kind of straggling creature there. But the Eldrazi sign a little bit of an insurance policy. Here's Courier Griffin, as we mentioned, for Seibold.
What does it tell you from Seibold's side when the Sentinel doesn't get blocked?
I don't know. I mean, maybe he has a way to do with the flyers.
Because
Maybe
usually,
-5/-5.
yeah, you would expect
Give
a
him
block
space.
there, right?
Yeah.
Bouillot still on 4 lands here. Seibold hasn't had too much trouble hitting his land drops. This is around turn number 8 or turn number 7 or 8 here.
I think they're debating something. It's pretty clear that Damien doesn't have a 5th. He played the Blighted Fen.
Oh, complete disregard. That was the card he was holding.
That's going to take care of the Ghostly Sentinel rather handily there. Let's see what Christian Seibold can find on the top of his line. It
Another
looks like a
plains.
plains. Yeah, he's got at least one more in hand. Is it 2 more, Ref Levy?
Yeah. He's a little flooded here.
Little flooded indeed. And Bouillot is putting a little bit of pressure on here. It's not we're not seeing huge big haymakers, but
Well,
all the same.
The 3/3 is big enough here, because if Christian decides to block, then he will lose his flyer, and then he will rely on his soul 1/1 to defend a bigger creature later against the Blighted Fen.
Mercstrider coming in here, and Seibold, I mean, it looks like he's going to have to
Yeah.
go for the double block here.
Culling Drone added to the army.
That's a core Castigator.
Core Castigator is a 3-1 coming down, but Seibold, as it seems, very, very flooded.
Yeah, does he have any way to use all the mana?
Yeah, all this mana really isn't is kind of going to waste here, not being put to good use.
Oh, there's the Planar Outburst in Seibold's deck.
He could be looking to draw to some powerful play like that to get him back in this, because right now he is under the gun. Here's Mercstrider in for another 3. This time it's going to be the Castigator that's going to meet it in the middle. And Bouillot, happy enough to trade there. And I'm sure Seibold is relieved to get some pressure off a little bit here. It's 2 mana now. Anticipate. I think Bouillot's looking for a land. And with 3 cards to look at, he might find one. Yes, indeed he does. An island is a snap included into the hand there. No hesitation at all on the part of the Frenchman. The rest of his hand hidden from view here. I imagine he's got something to deploy, waiting for the right number of lands to do so. Seibold untaps, and he's going to hit the top of his library. What can he find here?
He has a lot of cards he can draw. He can draw 2 Clutch of Currents. He can draw Planar Outburst. He can draw one of his 2 remaining Ghostly Sentinel.
3 Ghostly Sentinel in his deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, really devoted to taking to the skies with a 3/3 Vigilance there.
So now attacking the flyer.
In comes the 2/3.
It's probably a Sentinel. I haven't seen what he drew, but it's probably another flyer.
4 mana. And we'll see now. It's another Courier Griffin, so that's going to buffer the life total just a little bit here. Up to 11.
And land number 9.
So really flooding out here, Toralf. Not exactly the best series of draws for your countryman there.
Yeah, also he doesn't have really a high payoff. I think the biggest card he has is a Ghostly Sentinel. He has 3 of those. The Planar Outburst makes the lands to be a 4/4 that costs 7 mana, I believe. But besides that, 5 mana is the most expensive thing he can cast.
Isn't Planar Outburst 8?
Could be 8.
5 and 3?
Could be 8. I think 8 is if he wants to attack. Not sure though.
No, might be 4 and 3.
So he attacks with the Culling Drone. He ingests something to the very exile. And I would just say that Damien is a huge favorite in this game. He finally can cast all his spells. I think he has like 3 or 4 cards to his hand. And a Blighted Fen also on the board that will take care of a creature.
Sometimes the Eldrazi spawn is just there to be sacrificed later in the game.
That it also means that it can't block or jump.
Christian is I think Christian has a Shadow Glider in hand, but he's skipping it for now.
Yeah, he wants to. He basically sees that he needs the Planar Outburst, and he doesn't see an advantage of playing it. Although it would block the Malakir Familiar now. That's another attack with the Culling Drone, and I think
He's not attacking with the Familiar?
maybe he's afraid of like Royal's
Oh.
Retribution or Gideon's Reproach that he doesn't want to be cast on the Familiar. That's a
Double
nice block here.
And a double block here. Yep.
Yeah.
Killing the drone, not losing anything.
So the Awoken land now is a 2/2. And we've got a Salvage Drone entering the fray on the side of Bouillot. Seibold again, deep in thought here. He does have as many lands as he wants, really. That Eldrazi drone has stuck around for a long time to provide him with a mana that I don't think he's going to find much of a use for at this point.
Well, it's a good Blighted Fen protection.
That's true.
And basically they just sit around and wait.
6 mana. What could he be conjuring up here? It's a
Ooh.
Royal Spout. Here we go. So the Malakir Familiar will be put on the top of Bouillot's library, and we're going to pump up that Plains to become a 6/6.
That's a nice move.
Straight into the red zone it goes as well. That Tide Drift is not going to be able to hold this particular Plains off.
I don't want to ruin the fun here, but I think Ob Nixilis awaits next turn.
Yeah. You don't want to.
I don't want to be the guy who announces
You don't want to be
it, but
that guy, but I mean, someone has to, and we'll see how Bouillot what he wants to do here. Salvage Drone's going to get in and ingest a card from Seibold. A card just quickly flicked off your screen there. Don't think it was a land, however. 5 mana. What could it be? It is Ob Nixilis Reignited, the powerful Planeswalker immediately coming down and smashing the planes out of the battlefield. Destroy target creature. Something you really, really enjoy seeing on your cards in Limited, Toralf.
I like Planeswalkers in general.
Just Planeswalkers in general, but ones that
this
kill
one,
creatures.
this one is how would you say busted?
Yeah, something real
Yeah.
special here.
Yeah, the special part is it remains on the battlefield. If it kills something, then it just keeps on grinding cards.
Yeah, and Bouillot in a really good position to protect it as well. You know, that 0/5 can hang back and make sure that Ob Nixilis isn't taking damage. And yeah, this game is really being played on his terms here. He's going to draw a card. We've seen this sort of Phyrexian Arena, Underworld Connections, this sort of stuff going on. Black has this ability, pay 1 life, draw 1 card, and it's an ability most of the time you're happy to see. I mean, forget these cards. How about Yawgmoth's Bargain?
Yeah, definitely. 1 card is way much worth than 1 life
Yeah.
total most of the time. And the good thing is it's not like a raid you have to do all. If you want to do it, you can do it. If not, it just kills a creature, and that's fine.
Yeah, and this is something we see curiously from black planeswalkers, Liliana of the Veil. Often there is a secret mode on these black planeswalkers where you just don't activate it, and it can be okay. But in this case, Bouillot's going to get all the cards he can, and Murkstride is going to return the 3/1 Core Castigator, and looks to be in a very, very firm position here, Ralph
Yeah.
Levy.
Now attacking with the drone for 1 damage. Playing just more creatures. Another flyer.
Yeah, the Malakir Familiar coming around for an encore performance here after that Royal Spout, and it's Core Castigator also on the encore.
7 life, so that's He's not. He doesn't have lethal yet.
But a planar outburst here could change everything for Seibold.
Yeah, that would get rid of all the creatures and kill the Obnixilis in the same turn.
That's right. An awakened planar outburst could take care of the Obnixilis even now as it goes up to 4.
No, unless Damien does not play anything this turn. In that case, he would have the Fen.
Oh, the Blighted Fen would take care of it. That's very true.
So he would planar outburst, kill all the creatures,
and
have a 4/4, and then lose his land.
Yeah, Fen would take care of the
Fen,
4/4
yeah.
indeed, yeah. Having said that, Seibold still has to draw the card. So we are clutching at straws here for the German. The Frenchman very much in control as he looks to make a pressing attack here. Going down to 7 life after having drawn his extra card for the turn. Slowly considering his options, of course. Mistakes are all the more costly at this late stage of the tournament. Fatigue has set in, and these two guys have been battling hard for hours and hours this weekend.
Yeah, it would be very saddening that one mistake, maybe playing too hasty, would cost the finals. If you don't want to make the mistake, that's the time to not make it.
Seibold tossing his cards into the exile zone. We can't quite see them. Maybe we'll get. We might get a quick look at the exile zone. Get them brought back on screen.
Yeah, it's another land.
So it means the Malakir Familiar is not going to untap, buying him a little bit of time. But again, not what he's looking for. He needs action. So the last card exiled was a
Cloud Manta.
Cloud Manta, indeed. But Bouillot at this point, he's got the Doomblade on a stick in the form of Obnixilis. He's got the Blighted Fen to protect against another creature. He's going to draw another card.
Just drawing like a madman.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a bit sad about the Planeswalker Limited. Usually when you draw all the cards, you don't really need the ultimate because you got so much card advantage, you just win the game anyway. And it's a really cool ultimate. That wins in
wins in no time at all.
Yeah.
Taking a bunch of damage, 4 damage per turn sucker, more or less.
Oh, the planar outburst is gone already.
Oh, there you go. So Christian Seibold tossing that one off into the exile zone before we got a chance to see it. Here's Mortuary Mire. That's going to regrow a Dominator drone there.
And that's a very important ingest to know for Damien.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's enough. Seibold's seen enough, and we're going to go to game 2. So the German going down in game 1 to Damien Bouillot here. These guys going to hit their sideboards, but it seems like Bouillot's deck is pretty well set up to tussle. Seibold, I think, on the back of some unfortunate draws there. But Torolf Severin, you've played in 1,000 million billion drafts. What really draws your eye to the strengths in Bouillot's deck?
The good part is that he has some good payoff from the ingester. 2 Mercstrider are very good. They're buying time, so that means that the good cards he actually has in his deck, that can, like the Deathless Behemoth, that's very good. The Obnixilis we just saw, but also like just the Wasteland Strangler is a very good resource for just card advantage, staying on the board, playing again the complete disregard into Demon's Grasp, keep the board clean. I just see that this deck is grinding and grinding and grinding and just keeps creatures on the battlefield.
Yeah, he's got a lot of ways to eke value out of his cards. Altar's Reaper's in the sideboard, but there is a way for him to turn his creatures into cards with Smothering Abomination. That's up in the mix as well. There's a Swarm Surge and a Transgress the Mind, in addition to that Wasteland Strangler that you mentioned. Tide Drifter, Salvage, Drone, so we've got these ingest creatures kicking about as well. And a few rather interesting cards in his sideboard here with things like Aligned Hedron Network, although I don't know how well placed that is right now.
I really like the 2 Murturing Mires in his deck, because getting back the very good value cards of the Wasteland Strangler, as you said, the Smothering Abomination, those are cards you really want to get back in the late game.
Yeah, and especially something like Wasteland Strangler, you can see that being a pretty easy 2-for-1. Kill something when it comes into play, block another 3/3, 4/3, whatever, and then buy it back with Mortuary Mire. Yeah, now we've got a stew going. That's how it goes. As far as Christian Seibold goes, he is taking to the air 2 Courier Griffins, 2 Ghostly Sentinel. There's a couple of Core Castigators as well. Sorry, 3 Ghostly Sentinels. Putting the walls up with Fortified Rampart, Gideon's Reproach, Planar Outburst, and Stasis Snare, all being pretty good ways to get problematic creatures off the battlefield.
If you take out the Planar Outburst from this deck, this is actually just commons and uncommons.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and that's just the key power of this deck. It just works so well together. You play flyers, you defend a little, and you bounce some stuff, you gain a little tempo advantage, and the game is over. We saw that against Saito. We played a Cloud Manta, that's a pre-power fire, a Ghostly Sentinel, another Ghostly Sentinel, and the game was basically done.
That's that, and Torov, it's interesting you mentioned about taking care of these creatures, because it's not only the Reproach, the Outburst, and the snare, the Stasis Snare, that's going to take care of creatures. 2 copies of Clutch of Currents and a Royal Spout means that, yeah, I mean, Seibold's in a really good position, shore up his ground game, and then get into the air attack with these 2 and 3 power flyers.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward against the Ingestors because you usually don't want to bounce them.
Yeah.
Like bouncing a Wasteland Strangler is a bit awkward. Even putting it to the top, if you get the value again and again, we see that Damien, I think, doesn't have Benthic Infiltrators, so it can actually, he can be prevented from getting Ingest, but once he gets the Ingest going, those bounce spells don't do much.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, with these enter the battlefield effects of the processors, it can be a little bit of a liability. Having said that, you know, there are other creatures that I don't think he would hate to bounce, stuff like the Cloud Mantas, the Coral Helm Guides, this sort of stuff that's going on. Oracle of Dust, even. I mean, that's a big clunky card that is pretty susceptible to a Clutch of Currents. But here we go. Seibold seems happy with the 7 that he's drawn.
I think Damien's deck is very well positioned in this match because Christian's threats are flyers, and Damien has answers to flyers. So he's mainly relying on them to win, on 50 flyers, and Damien, well, has answer to them.
Seibold with the Plains and Bouillot with a Swamp, kicking things off for what could be the last game. Core Castigator starting things off for Seibold. Nice aggressive start for him. He'll be looking to sneak in some early damage. And with the second Swamp, it means no Tide Drifter. Here's the Castigator now,
And
getting in for 3.
You're always very happy to get in some early damage with the Flyers deck, because if you get like 6 to 9 damage, that means your Flyers only have to attack 3 to 4 times.
Yeah, that's a good point. The fact that it sort of shortcuts the work that you have to do with these expensive flyers that are hoping to, you know, fly over the battlefield. The fact that, you know, we might see him get in for even 9 damage here in the first couple of turns if there's no answer to these Castigators. Probably 6.
If there's like a Stasis Snare or even a Clutch of Currents, that game could be ending quickly.
Yeah, that's very true. So Christian Seibold really making the most of these cards. Really nice aggressive plays, low to the ground with this sort of stuff. Interesting to see Castigator in the same deck as something like Fortified Ramparts, Raph.
Is he playing Fortified Ramparts?
Yeah, he's playing 1 copy of it.
I think that
the best friends.
they're not working well together, but I think also the Castigators are just a very good blocker for higher mana cost creatures.
No island and no 4th turn play.
Oh, Seibold, after those Castigators, nothing to follow them up, and Bouillot is happy to trade his Familiar off with the Castigator to stem the flow. And 3 more, no, two mana here. Are we going to see the Tide Drifter? Yes, we are. There it is. So that's going to lock up the ground nicely here. Seibold looking for a little bit of help off the top of his deck and not finding it.
Oh, is it the Smite the Monsters? Oh, no.
It's a Stone Heavy Medic. All right.
That's not a big help.
Not hugely here.
Calling reinforcement. I'm here.
I'm here at 1-3. I'll gain you 1 life if you want. What do you want here?
That's all I can do, sorry. That's all I got.
Bouillot, though, not having any trouble developing his mana here. He's up to 5. We're going to see all of it deployed here, and it's Obnixilis. I mean, this is a rough spot for Seibold, killing the 3-1 immediately, and Obnixilis Reignited does not look to be ending under any pressure at all here.
No, even if he handles the Tide Drifter, it still only gets 1 damage, and that means he's sticking around, drawing cards.
This could be the end for our German friend on the left-hand side of your screen. Bouillot is very in a very good spot here on the back of this Planeswalker. It's done him a ton of work here throughout the finals.
Yeah, now it's going to do the work on its own. I don't see him not drawing anytime soon.
Yeah, there's just no need to do anything else. And a Smothering Abomination. Wow, I mean, Seibold recognizes here. Gaining 1 life.
Behemoth.
No.
Oh, sorry.
That's what I do. I gain life. That's
my job. Here comes the Plains now, number 4. And Seibold still with no play. So this Deathless Behemoth is going to put a lot of pressure on the German here, in addition to this Obnixilis.
Ironically, bringing death very quickly.
Yeah, a Deathful Behemoth, I would say. In it comes. Little poke forward for Bouillot. And Seibold resigned to taking 6 here.
And if
Another card and another life for Bouillot.
if you're ever in the spot to like play turn 5 of Nicholas, turn 6 Deathless Beams, you should enjoy this. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, he's taking his time.
Yeah.
He's savoring this. I
Yeah.
mean, this is...
Have you ever played Obnixilis in Limited?
I never have, no.
It is good.
It's a good feeling?
Yes.
I can imagine it would be. It does all the things you want to do. It draws cards and kills things. And I mean, Damien Bouillot, he can savor this. You know, this is a GP championship that is very close to being within his reach. He's giving his opponent, dinging his opponent for 5 a turn, thanks to that medic. The medic's doing its best. Gaining you a life.
When you just have to like roll a die, just to draw a card, not even tapping your lands. You have to take your pen though.
Or Scour from
Oh.
Existence. Look at that. How impolite that is indeed. I mean, Scour from Existence as a 7-mana Stone Rain. But Bouillot recognizes that's the way he's going to win this game.
Adding insult to injury. here.
Yeah. Rubbing salt into that wound. Seibold, ever reserved and quiet here. He feels the swift approach, but the Wasteland Strangler as well here
That
to
was
get rid of that Stonehaven medic.
that was
Ooh.
actually a method to his madness. He just wanted to get a card exiled.
Yeah.
And the medic facing
We want to see the emblem. I want to see the emblem.
Seibold, reaching here to gain one more life before the Stonehaven medic departs this world. Strangled away. And the Behemoth in for another 6. And one more card off the top for Bouillot. From strength to strength here, this is a gruesome slaughter.
Come on, want to see an emblem.
Deathless
Want to see the ultimate.
Dominator Drone here. Going to take 2 more from Seibold. And it's a 4th land and go, he says. So Bouillot, do you think he's going to cash in some of those star points, go for the emblem?
That would be nice. That would be... no.
In for 12. Encircling Fisher. Encircling Fisher as a safe passage. Christian Seibold digs those fingernails in. He will not release.
He only needs 3 more of those, and then we get to see the emblem.
3 more just to see the emblem victory here. Optimistic stuff here from my good friend and colleague, Toralf Severin. But it's back to Seibold. He draws. Can he find the 5th land?
Oh,
It is
it is a land. It is a land that comes to play tap.
the Cascade Bluffs here. Oh no.
Does he have the planar outburst? Do we know
I
that?
think he does.
That's just mean.
Attack for 9, and it's going to be
Ooh.
a Gideon's Reproach.
Reproach.
So, Seibold still
Still in
fighting. Still fighting.
We actually might see it.
He goes to 3. We might see the emblem.
Yeah.
Seibold is doing a good job delaying here as long and as hard as he can.
Do you think it's his job too? That's what he has in mind.
That's all he's got. He's like, I need to give the viewers what they want.
If he doesn't have the spell shrivel, then there's no way that he can prevent the planar outburst from happening.
Coral Helm Guide here. And now Seibold. He does have the Planar Outburst, and there it is. Planar Outburst going to clean up the battlefield, all except for that Obnixilis, of course. Seibold has walked a long and slow road to getting to 5 mana, but the battlefield is clear. Were it not for that
is it 8?
Obnixis.
Is
yeah,
it
it's
8?
8. It's 8, yes. Unfortunately,
Next-
it's 8.
Yeah, next turn.
Up
Well,
to
there's no haste. Oh. So now he should not play a creature. Otherwise, he might die. Like if it's Clutch of Currents. Or maybe he can play 2.
Culling Drone. Mindraker.
No. Please, Christian, just don't scoop, please.
Christian Seibold consults with the top of his library. It's a Plains. Clutch of Current in hand. He can survive 1 more turn.
I don't think he's a scooper.
Nah, he's not. He's not that kind of guy.
He's on that.
He's playing- he
he's on that
wants-
Reed Duke tip.
Yes.
That's how he do.
I'm only dead if the state-based effects tell me I'm dead.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm.
It ain't over till the fat lady sings right now. And Christian Seibold does have 1 more turn on the back of the Clutch of Currents that you see, but it is Obnixilis Reignited that has dominated this final. Game 1 and Game 2, Bouillot has called on the power of the Planeswalker to see him to victory here.
I think right now we will see the fat guy thing.
5 mana. We're going to see Clutch of Currents here. Wake up this Plains. Bounce the Mindraker. And attack with the plains.
Oh yes, we're gonna see it.
Carlingron jumps in the way. Bouillot is going all out for the style victory, the comprehensive victory here with Ob Nixilis. 8 loyalty counters on the Planeswalker.
He should make a photo with the Obnixilis emblem. That would be a nice victory pose.
It's a swamp.
Thinking.
He's thinking. He's considering. He's going to make us wait. Demon's Grasp.
Come on, just do it.
Demon's Grasp to destroy the land.
Come on.
Ob Nixilis
Yes.
emblem. There we go.
Oh,
An
here we
emblem,
go.
ready and waiting in the hands of Tim Willoughby. In comes the emblem.
Is that actually an emblem for Damien or for Christian?
No,
Because
it's an emblem for Christian. That's right. Yes.
that
you
would be
think that it-
horrible.
yeah.
Emblem on me. Go.
Oh, yes, I'll emblem myself here. Here we go. So, Christian Seibold draws a card, loses 2 life,
Triggers.
goes to 1. Damien Bouillot on the brink of a Pro Tour victory. Oh, sorry, a GP victory. There it is. Bouillot on the back of the Ob Nixilis, getting there, the emblem victory all the way to the bank for him. A very, very happy man, and what a stylish win for him, Bouillot. A very joyous Frenchman, and commiserations to Christian Seibold doing all he could, but the might of Ob Nixilis reigns supreme at GP Lyon. What a game, Raphael Levy.
It's not always that you see the emblem taking it.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
like it.
A fitting end to a fantastic event here in Lyon, and you can see rapturous applause for our friend Bouillot. He's going to come in and have a chat with us before too much longer, but we're going to bring it back to the booth here and discuss what we've seen. My goodness, Toralf Severin along with Raphael Levy, Riley Knight as well. But Toralf, what a way to end the game. A huge emblem there from Ob Nixilis, putting a real stamp of authority on the tournament. But it seems to me that Bouillot's deck was just really well put together. You said you were impressed.
Yeah, I was impressed with the deck. I was, I think, easily the best deck at the table.
Mhm.
And I don't know how the draft went, but I know that the Ob Nixilis was open in the 3rd pack. So he read the signals correctly that there was no blue-black drafter at the front of him. He got the Ob Nixilis. That was a good payoff.
Yeah, really rewarded for it. Raphael Levy, you've been here throughout the event. Anything that's really stood out for you? I mean, we've had a finals that's really been a highlight of the event for me. But what have you learned from this event? What are some of the things that you've taken home from this?
So we've seen a lot of converse strategies, a lot of multicolored decks that I had not seen a lot of before. A lot of players putting strategies together. We've seen Vincent's deck in the semifinals with Sylvan Scryings and a lot of dual lands, and we've seen Tomohiro Saito with a lot of shenanigans.
The late game ramps.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
So I don't really expect that many different new strategies. But at the end, blue-white against blue-black.
Yeah.
The classic
The
decks.
show for the
Yeah.
ages. That's right. But Toralf, as Raf said, we have seen a litany of different approaches to the thing. Have you been surprised with how diverse and how deep this format is?
Well, it was pretty clear that Zendika offers a wide range of decks, but I'm very surprised how it actually unfolds to all those draft archetypes. You can do a lot, and there's a lot of close picks that anyone can just do differently and still get a good deck if they know what they're doing. That's a very good thing.
Yeah.
I think you could do another 10, 50, 100 drafts and still be excited about the format.
All right. So there we go. Those are the thoughts from Toralf Severin. Toralf, I'd like to thank you for all of your contributions this weekend. It's been a fantastic debut from you. People around the world, I'm sure, enjoying the comments of the Limited Master from Berlin. We'll see you again soon. But right now, it's time for Toralf to step aside and make way for our champion here. Monsieur Damien Bouillot is joining us in the booth here. We've got Raph Levy on hand as well. Damien, first of all, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Well done indeed. Must be a huge moment for you winning a GP in such style.
Yeah, sure. It's my first top 8 JP, so I'm good IP and I'm from Lyon.
Yeah.
So
the hometown hero
Yeah,
taking home the
it's
trophy.
my
That's
hometown.
fantastic. We heard, though, of course, you opening the Ob Nixilis in Pack 3.
Yeah.
A very fortuitous open, but it's taken you all the way into the final and won with huge style.
Yes, the Omnixis was pick 3.
Mm-hmm.
Both Belgian player at my left didn't play it, and I won this one in a semi-final inside me. I give you a lot of black cards.
Yeah,
So,
the deck really came together, seemed really well put together for you. Had you done a lot of preparation coming into this? What was the sort of work that what was your expectation out of this event?
I did read some articles about draft and see that I most didn't do anything like only played some pre-release and that's all.
Well, you've gone all the way. We'll be seeing you at the Pro Tour very soon. What does it mean to you to be a champion in your home city of a GP here?
I have no words for that.
Yeah, it's fantastic stuff. Really, really impressive. We're so happy for you. Such a great victory, and thanks so much for giving us such a fantastic show in the end with the emblem victory. We're all there rooting for you. So well done indeed to you. A well-earned victory. Congratulations.
Thank
Anything
you.
at all? Any of the fans as well? You've got a big group of people here cheering you on. Anything you'd like to say to them?
You like my friends? Yo.
There they all are behind him. Fantastic. So well done indeed to you, Damien Bouillot. Stick around for just a second. It's time to call this thing a day. And at the end of GP Lyon, of course, it's a very warm thank you to all of the people who have contributed to the success of the event, the staff and the judges, the TO, the vendors, all the people who have given up their time and energy this weekend to contribute to the success of this weekend. And of course, the coverage team that I have the privilege to work with every time you see my mug on the screen, headed up, of course, by the inestimable Rich Hagen. And of course, we've got GPs around the world in Indianapolis and in South America, and you can tune into them on the Magic Twitch streams. Magic 2, you'll find one of them on. Of course, all the action from GP Indy, where you can see America's finest doing battle. So I hope you'll choose to spend the rest of your weekend in the company of your good friends here from Magic the Gathering. But thanks again for your company throughout the weekend. It's been a blast to bring you such a fantastic tournament. On behalf of all the people here, this is Riley Knight saying good night. Thanks for your company, and we'll see you next time. It's goodbye from Lyon.